Hi everyone, Diana here with your weekly message from Phillip, the Soul Messages, and Phillip, my spirit guide, who gives us answers to your questions. And I thank you for the questions. You can put them in the comments below or email me directly. My address is on my webpage, and all that information is below. And I also put other links there to other meditations that are, or other YouTube videos that are pertinent to either what's going on in our world today, which may be a meditation we need to keep us calm, or it may be something pertinent to our talk today, which below our talk today, by the way, is what do we do about those toxic people in our lives? And Philip has some good information about why they're in our lives. But I want to give you, and how to get rid of them. But I want to also I added that video on 4 different processes to get rid of someone who's toxic in your life, or, just you don't need them there. And what I want to say is the first one, it's a simple bless you, bless me. And that's like the car that the driver that cuts you off, instead of getting angry and doing finger language, you might want to say, bless you and bless me. That's an easy way to shift the energy. If you're starting an argument with somebody, you can simply say, think over and over, bless you, bless me. And as you do that, you actually change your own energy, which changes the energy between the two of you. The second and third one go together, and I won't take time on this video to explain them. They're a little more complicated. They're really important to use if it's like a relationship that breaks up, or if you really need to change the relationship. And the fourth one, I do not recommend doing unless you really want that person out of your life, because it works. So that said, this is our 32nd week into the new year. 2020, thank God, is going very quickly. I don't want to wish my life away, as my friend Ann Thomas used to say, but I will say I will be glad when 2020 is over, other than we're going to go into 2021 with some same issues, and it's going to take a lot of healing. So I think our talk today might help all of us get through the next, not only get through, but to actually help heal our own lives and the world. So anyway, this is the 32nd week, and this is August the 2nd through the 8th. August the 2nd through the 8th. I always have to look at the calendar. I'm not good with numbers. And then we will get a message from Philip's book, again, my spirit guide, the Master's Book of Answers, and we just flip through, and each page is just a different wisdom. And interesting enough, those wisdoms always have to do with our topic. That never ceases to amaze me how that works. But you know what? It does, and it never ceases to amaze me. Daily, I always ask Philip for what's my personal message today, and it never ceases to amaze me. It is exactly what I need. And yes, it is available on Amazon.com. I forget to tell you that, and somebody will always write me and ask me. So here's our question for this week. Why are toxic people in our life, and how do we deal with them? Okay, so here's what Philip tells us. We begin by saying everyone who is in your life has been invited by you. Ooh, we don't want to hear that, do we? Everyone in our life who we think of as toxic, we've invited in. Here's what Philip explains. Excuse me. Let me just take a quick swallow here. Thank you. Excuse me. I am so sorry. You wonder why you would invite someone you now consider toxic into your life. And Philip goes on to say, as soon as I turn the page here, it's stuck, sorry. There are several reasons. We shall explain these. Often a toxic person is a soulmate, as we spoke of last week. This person entered with sexual chemistry between you and the two of you. Let me try that again, shall I? This person entered with sexual chemistry between you. so the two of you could grow by healing old wounds within you and between you. If this is so, then if you rid yourself of this person, you simply be attracted to the same type of person until you heal the wound and change the pattern. Healing the wound begins with recognition of the pattern being played out by the wound. Once there is recognition, you are then able to begin to make changes in the pattern. So if we're in a toxic relationship, simply recognize that it's really about us, and we've created a pattern that we get to heal. And once we are recognizing that pattern, we will heal it and be able to move on. Phillip goes on to say, these changes will allow you to recognize the toxic energy of the person for whom you may have a sexual attraction. With recognition, you're able to avoid forming a bond. So unless we heal the pattern that we ourselves have created, we will just repeat that pattern over and over and over until we really recognize it's about us. And that recognition then allows us, when we have that sexual chemistry with someone, to stop and say, wait a minute, are they good for me? And if not, why not? Are they another toxic person? No, we just repeat the same pattern. So it's on us, folks. Another reason, Phillip goes on to say, humans invite a toxic person into their lives is because they do not yet recognize their own self-worth and truth. The toxic person plays out what the person really thinks of themselves. For example, if you don't think highly of yourself, you will allow others to mirror those feelings. As you begin to recognize your own truth and power, you will no longer need the other person, and so you will ask them to leave. Oh, I wish I could show you your own beauty. I wish I could show you your own power. I wish I could show you that you are pure love under all of that lack of self-worth. Recognize your own greatness. Not from the ego, but from the truth of who you are. Phillip goes on to say, a third reason is the energy you yourself are emitting. Have you not noticed that when your heart is happy, everyone seems to delight in your presence? The same is true when your energy feels toxic with fear, anger, mistrust, and so on, that others reflect this back to you. Others are just reflecting back to us what we're putting out. Once we really get that, if we're able to really understand that others are reflecting our own energy back to us, we are able to really begin healing and change those emotions that are drawing to us that which we really don't even want. Phillip goes on to say, yet another reason is an opportunity to provided to you so that you may meet the toxicity with the power of love. To do this, you must first be willing to let go of your needs of toxic emotions and live in awareness of the energy you are emitting. For example, can you hear another without the need to respond? Can you love the other's spirit while also disagreeing with their stance? Can you experience all human emotions without getting caught in them? That's a big one. Can you experience all human emotions without getting caught in them? And then for the last two reasons, a toxic person is in your awareness. The way to release them is for you to simply be aware of your own energy and allow it to be healed with love. As the humans progress in their development, it becomes easier to recognize the patterns, their worth, and their emotions. It is easier to love oneself and all others. Having compassion for oneself and all others begins with understanding of life and the human experience, which is to experience all of life. So to have greater understanding of every human and every human emotion and experience. As an emotion, as an emotion about another arises, step out of the emotion and become the witness. As you witness the emotion, allow yourself to see how the emotion is about you, not the other. Then be kind, be strong, and loving yourself, step into the power of love. Boy, what Phillip is asking of us is not easy at all, is it? Really tough, but you know what? We all can do it. It's a breath by breath, a step by step process. Just recognizing the emotions that are coming to us are emotions we're putting out. If we're putting out fear, if we're putting out jealousy, guess what? We're creating that for a reason. And if we can figure out what that reason is, we can heal the emotion. Okay. Excuse me. Think left page or right page. You know, it's interesting to me when I'm doing a private reading, and if you care for a private reading, please contact me through my website below. You can call me or you can email. And I'm going to need another swallow of water, excuse me. But I find it interesting because when I am getting a little choked up and getting some phlegm in my throat that's getting in, it's harming my process of speaking, it says to me that that particular person I'm reading for, either they're not speaking out or they're not speaking out appropriately. And so we talk about the speaking out. And in our talk with Phillip today, we've been talking about toxic people and our own emotions drawing that toxicity to us. And so we have to look at our own emotions. So right now, a lot of people are speaking out in anger. And I think that what I'm being asked to say is let's be very careful of our words that we're saying, because once we've said a word, there's no coming back from that. There's no getting past that. Whether it's written words or spoken words, they're out there forever. So let's be very careful of our words that we put out. They all have power. They all have energy. This is not to say we're never going to get angry. Of course we are. And anger can propel us toward healing. Let's use our anger appropriately, shall we? All right, here we go. Let's just flip through and then we'll think left page or, okay, think up. Think left page or right page. If you thought left page, which is what I'm getting, then we just got the same message. If you thought right page, then that's a personal message for you. So there's no right or wrong answer for doing this, okay? So here's our message. Left page. To know God better, know yourself better. To know God better, know yourself better. Oh, does that go along with today's message? Yes. All right. This one does too. The world you see represents your thought. As you change your thoughts, so will you change your world. I'm going to read both of those again because they're so pertinent to today's message, and that always surprises me and doesn't. So here we go. The left says, to know God better, know yourself better. The right page says, the world you see represents your thoughts. As you change your thoughts, so you will change your world. I invite you to take a look at any of my other videos. They will help you get through these times. I'm not promising easy, but I am promising we can get through these times. We're holding each other's hands. We're holding each other's hearts. Adding more anger, more toxicity to the world isn't going to make it better. That's why, my friends, we have to use the power of love. And love is powerful. Love is the most powerful emotion in the world. And I remind you, love is an active verb. That means be kind. Step out in your own power. You don't have to have toxic people in your life. in your world. But you've got to stop being a toxic person to have that happen. I love you, my friends. From all of us here, thank you for being with us today, all the four-legged ones and the two-legged ones. We love you. We thank you. Until we meet again, I'll see you on YouTube or Facebook or even Twitter. I do get political on Twitter, so watch out. I love you, my friends. Thank you for the love that you send to us and for all the love you add to the world. Till next week.